welcome inside the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena as both teams have made their way onto the floor for game number 6 of this best-of-7 semifinal here in the Major Series Lacrosse League. And it's the 8th meeting of these two teams in less than 2 weeks' time. It's a series there that you think they've seen each other so much, you almost wonder what is next. And now Six Nations on the brink of elimination.
Oh, absolutely, Spencer. And again, before we started the broadcast, we were trying to figure out when the last time the Six Nations Golden Chiefs actually didn't make a Major Series Lacrosse final. And it's been a long time. And actually, it was 2011 was the last time the Chiefs haven't been into the final. But you know what? And having watched this team over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, one thing that stands out to me most about the Six Nations Golden Chiefs is their resiliency, and especially in the playoffs. And you know, when their back's against the wall, sometimes that's when their best lacrosse comes.
Well, they'll need to be at their best tonight as we are underway. Welcome into game number 6. We're glad you could be a part of this one on YouTube here on Smart Media. The Six Nations Chiefs are at home facing elimination. They will run from left to right in the first, and they have the ball now. With it was Jamison. Jamison through Craig Point. He's back in the lineup tonight. If you caught game 5, Craig Point and Dane Smith were out of the lineup. Both of those two players back in tonight for game number 6.
Two guys that the Chiefs direly need in their lineup. We were talking again earlier this morning about Monday night's game. The big thing that stood out from a Chiefs standpoint was a lack of offense and a lackluster performance, especially on that side of the ball. So you have a guy like Craig Point, who's been fantastic all season long, and Dane Smith, who's been nursing a lower body injury for the last several games. Those are two guys you really need.
Well, the Chiefs come in on the transition, but a great stop by Nick Rose. The goaltenders tonight, Nick Rose and Dougie Jamison. No change in the net. Referees are Blair Ferguson and Josh Oates. Here's Bird, who played a crucial part in game number 5 victory. He returned. Johnny Powlis as well. He's in front of the net wearing number 93. Billy D. Smith. Start things off up to Dane Smith. Keep an eye on Dane Smith, as we mentioned, nursing an injury. Over to Fennell. Fennell back, trying to cut through the middle. He gets it back, but he just couldn't squeeze. Thurston, the shot, good stop by Rose. And a great rebound. Something they could not do in Oakville was control the ball for a long period of time. And right now, Six Nations with a good offensive rebound. Back over the near side, tried to get Thurston, but he couldn't squeeze it. Now to Randy Stotts. Randy trying to get a shot, but that goes wide, and it will go out of play.
That was one of the first outside shots the Chiefs have taken. As you could see right from the hop, they've really wanted to get inside. They've done it twice already in that last series. And it's something that they really haven't done a lot of. And when they did it, they found themselves successful. But of course, Nick Rose facing a ton of shots, but a lot of those from the outside.
Offensive rebound this time, controlled by Oakville. And they'll get 20 on the shot clock. They're debating if there's a reset or not. The referees say play on. Outside shot, good stop by Jamison, and a better rebound control. Other game tonight, it's also game number 6 in Whitby. Brooklyn also on the brink of elimination against the Peterborough Lakers. Brooklyn, though, coming straight back, down 3-0 and won 2 consecutive games. 10 on the shot clock. Oakville pressuring high. Jackson with it here on the left side. Good D from Oakville. Nothing getting to the middle as that went off the stick of number 28, Billy Hochstrauser. So Hochstrauser and company go for the change, and Oakville comes up the floor. Can already tell just from watching game number 1 and 5, the speed of this game is a little bit more controlled and slower. Whereas game 5 in Oakville, the speed, they tried to really push the floor in every attempt, both teams. 16:25 left to play here in the opening period. Still scoreless. Glad you could be a part of this one. And a penalty coming against the Pro Fit Chiefs. Tyson Bell is going off. Minor penalty for holding. So Oakville gets their first power play look. Oakville's power play, very strong performances throughout this series. So Bell in the box, a minor penalty for holding. And they go with the same power play unit. It's a 5-hole goal that beats Dougie Jamieson, and Oakville on top, 1-0. And that only took 11 seconds on the man advantage. Very simple passing play, and you can tell that the message is clear. Shoot the ball. Wes Berg, a great shot. So Berg is first in the night. And it's the first power play goal for Oakville. An excellent opportunity taken advantage of by the Rock. Great face-off won by Thompson once again. Thompson on the far side. Rose makes the low save. Great stop. Nick Rose now up the floor. Connect with Matt Van Galen, who's also back in the lineup tonight. Van Galen was a healthy scratch for Oakville on Monday night. He pops back in. 15 on the shot clock. Good two-man game. Craig Point now in the middle. All with it is Shane Jackson. That shot from McKay gets deflected. Still on the ground. Oakville now picks it up, and they have speed with numbers. A 2-on-1, a 3-on-1 now. As that outside shot, Jamieson able to go down and make the rebound save. Simpson with speed. He's going to take it, try to pull out, get to his proper side of the floor. Up top, they swing it through Brian Cole. Jamieson. Magical when he gets in close. He had a beautiful goal on Monday night in Oakville. A one-hand, underhand shot that beat Nick Rose. One of the only 4 goals that Rose allowed on 49 shots. This ball is going to be controlled by Nick Rose in the crease, and Oakville will set up. Good patience and good stick work from Nick Rose. And now that's Jeremy Noble. Noble over to the lefties as Dan Craig flips off. Noble down low, and he has Wes Berg. Berg through Andrew Pugh. Pugh from well outside gets a shot and gets the ball to stay. Oakville ball off the stick of Doug Jamieson. Really good crowd on hand here tonight at the ILA for game number 6. Glad you could be a part of this one on Smart Media. Spencer Tangley, along with Darryl Smart, working on our technical difficulties at the moment, and our scorebook. Great shot. Better save, though, by Doug Jamieson. Pushing the floor now for the Chiefs. Here's Ethan O'Connor. Fennell, they'll set up. Dan Craig. Excuse me, Craig Point, rather. The shot, they score! Randy Stotts, the leading goal scorer for the Chiefs, opens the scoring for the white and the baby blue, and that makes it a 1-1 contest. Randy Stotts, the team's leading point getter so far in this MSL playoffs. Just goes around the good seal from Craig Point, and he buries far side on Rose to make it 1-1. Big loss tonight for Oakville, and all series is Brad Cree. Cree out with an injury, and he's their go-to face-off guy, but he will miss the remainder of this series. Thompson, he couldn't get the ball off the turf, but it's controlled by Justin Martin, and out come the Oakville Rock. By the way, if necessary, Game 7 tomorrow night, so no rest for neither of these teams. Noble, good stop by Jamieson, and the ball is controlled by the Chiefs. Here's Tyson Bell. Another good look for Dane Smith as he comes on the floor, and he gets the ball now. Smith over to the far side of the righties. With it is Frank Brown, one of the also goal scorers for the Chiefs on Monday night. 12:50 left to tick off the clock, period number 1 here in Game 6. Doesn't get much better than this. Game 6 of MSL in a 3-2 series that has been back and forth. Good job by Leo Storos. And now the Chiefs have it. Here's Jamison. Jamison, they're working the two-man game here on the near side with Fennell. Goes across, good stop by Nick Rose, who challenged the shot coming out. Rose, a good pass to Gillies. Gillies up the floor. Here's Rogers. Rogers to Berg, back to Gillies. And they score. Off the goal post and off the back of the leg of Doug Jamison. And the Rock have a 2-1 lead. Great time to remind you a great shout out to the Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation, our great partners of the stream who have brought you live coverage for free on YouTube on Smart Media. Be sure to check out Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation by visiting their official website. Be sure to Google them, of course. Follow them on all their social media platforms. And thank them for bringing you free coverage of MSL Lacrosse. So 2-1 now for the visiting Oakville Rock. We're 8 minutes into the game. 3 goals scored. 2 by the team that has the 3-2 series lead. He'll dish off. Dane Smith goes to work. Chiefs going to try and find an answer here early. I mentioned we only played 8 minutes. That shot, good stop though by Nick Rose. Rose is having a career performance so far through his first 6 games of his MSL playoffs. Through Van Galen over to Noble. Van Galen working hard just to try and open up Noble. Noble swings it up top now. Back to Matt Van Galen. On the near side, tried to go 5-hole, but Dougie's got the loose ball. And he'll push the floor. Here's Thompson. Thompson, a 2-on-2. The pass was intended for point, but it was just low. And he almost got off the shot, actually, but the ball just squeaked out. Hit a ball trick stays with number 21 of the Rock. That's Mitch Gisnu. Dishes off to Berg. Up top through Dallas Bridle. He also returning to the lineup, the Orangeville, Ontario native. Orangeville, one of those associations that had career performances and standout performances at the Ontario Lacrosse Festival. Dallas Bridle was a member of the coaching staff of the novice A group, that novice Northman team, a dynasty team. They also won Tyke A in 2016, 2 years later, our novice A champions. So watch out for the Orangeville Northmen in about 8 years' time. That's when they'll become junior eligible. That's Jeremy Noble, 3 on the clock. They'll kill it and just dump it all the way down. Ten minutes gone, 2-1 score. As Fennell starts things off, and they swing it over to Randy Stotts, who's got the lone goal for the Chiefs tonight. Dane Smith. Smith back to Stott. The shot just missed wide. That's where he scored. And now that's going to be controlled by Gillies, the most recent goal scorer. Gillies, the shot, he scores! Back-to-back goals. And now the Chiefs are taking a penalty after the goal. So the penalized player going off, Cody Jamison. And it will be white possession as the penalty happened after the goal. Not a good penalty to take, obviously, as the penalty was for pushing the goal scorer Gillies right into the boards after the shot. Gillies, by the way, 2 goals tonight now. And the Rock have a 3-1 lead. Power play. They scored 11 seconds into their first power play opportunity. And this is who scored it, West Berg. The shot, that one's wide of the net. Might bounce out of play, and it does, off the gondola above the team benches here at the ILA. Tyson Bell, Chiefs trying to kill off a full 2 minutes. Now Jordan Durston. Durston to Jackson. Chiefs penalty kill coming into this game was the best in the MSL. There's a shot. Nick Rose, though, well out of his crease to make the stop, but the rebound controlled by Randy Stotts. Randy Stotts sails good stop, though, by Nick Rose. Loose ball off the turf, picked up by Hostrauser, and he'll just let Challen Rogers break out. Noble. With exactly 8 minutes and 5 seconds left to tick off the clock, period number 1. They'll try to extend this lead to a 3-goal as Noble now in the shooter position. Up top, the shot from Johnny Paulus got deflected. Picked up by Dan Craig. Up top for Paulus. Great stop. And now the Chiefs need to get it over in 10 seconds. They move it up to Tyson Bell, who's got speed. 15 seconds left in the minor penalty for roughing against Cody Jamieson. Here's Fennell. Simpson. Penalty is over. The Chiefs have killed it off. Jamieson will stay on to be the 5th member of this offense. Delayed penalty now against the Rock. To Dane Smith, to Fennell. Shot clock expires. And the minor penalty for slashing coming against the Rock's Jordan Magnuson. So Magnuson goes off. 2 minutes for slash, the call. And this will be the first look tonight for the Six Nations Chiefs power play. Power plays are brought to you by the Jeep Ketcher Charitable Foundation, also our official partners of this broadcast and all of our streams here at the ILA. Shot clock got reset, but it does not count, so the official in the back will make the count. Now it does, the shot. Fresh 30 for the Chiefs as they'll pull it all the way back. Game paused momentarily for a shot clock. So the game clock is now at 25 seconds on the shot clock. A lot of clock confusions right now here. Ball's up top for Durston. Power play continues. Jordan. And the back pass for Jamieson doesn't go. He picks it up off the back wall though. Jamieson across. The shot misses once again. Chiefs really struggling to find some momentum here on offense. As one, oh, that caught a piece of Nick Rose, they say. So the Chiefs get a break and get a fresh 30. Here's Craig Point. Craig Point in the middle for Durston. Great stop by Rose.
Wow, that was point blank.
He has been lights out all series long. You can't explain anything else. Rogers the shot, Jamieson the stop. And Jamieson at the other end, just equally as good. 5 minutes, 50 to go. Period number 1. If you're just joining us, here on Smart Media. Glad you could be a part of this one. Spencer Tangway, along with Daryl Smart. Brought to you by the Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation. Great stop by Nick Rose, and he controls the rebound. That bounce pass perfectly connects with Brad Gillies, who's having a night tonight. 2 goals already. Gillies to Van Galen. That one went off Brian Cole's stick, but now it's picked up by Dan Craig. And the Rock have successfully killed off their first penalty of the game, and they are back to 5-on-5. Van Galen works his way to the middle. All over them, though, is Cole. Noble has it. This is Jeremy Noble, and he'll just dish off to kill the shot clock. Well, the Chiefs still trying to find an answer, Daryl, as this has been unusual for the Chiefs. As we were talking before, neither of these teams have yet to hit 10 goals in the 8 times they've played, except for the one game I guess you could call almost a scrimmage.
You're absolutely right. One of the things that I've noticed is how often both teams have missed the net. And again, when you have 2 teams with so many sharpshooters, the margin of error is so minute, and especially at this level, for the Chiefs especially, they've been missing the net. And it's almost been a theme throughout the season. I know some of the games, especially through their struggles during the regular season, one of the big themes they were getting shots to the net, but they weren't on the net. They were just grazing the post, a lot of posts, a lot of crossbars.
Well, that shot got deflected and went high, and now Oakville has numbers if they hurry. With possession, it's Krepensek, a 3-on-2. Q scores. And don't look now, but the Oakville Rock have a 4-1 lead, where Six Nations tonight is on the brink of elimination.
And if you're the Oakville Rock, you're playing the perfect away game right now. They're doing everything they can to silence the crowd. They're getting opportunities in transition and making them count, just like that play. And that's exactly what that was. They got into transition, they had numbers, and they buried their opportunity. Something, and again, down the other end, has been a bit of a problem.
Well, this is where they haven't had problems, is on the face-off dot. They've won 100% of the dot battle so far tonight, as Thompson has just really put on a clinic night in and night out, but they unable to put up numbers.
Funny enough, it was their Achilles heel last playoff.
Right, that's right. Loose ball controlled by Cole. 13 on the shot clock. Jackson. That shot right into the arm pad of Nick Rose. And here comes Challen Rogers. Not the first period if you're the Six Nations Chief, that is for sure that you plan. Westberg, the shot. Doug Jamieson read that perfectly, but the ball pops right back out, and it's controlled by Dallas Bridle. Bell all over Bridle, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. Here
That's
comes
a great
McKay.
loose ball play.
Well, and we talked about it. This was something the Chiefs really needed to work on coming into tonight's game. Back to fundamentals. You need the ball. And Monday night, it was not there this time. The post bails out Nick Rose, and it'll go right back up top for Jamieson, who takes a pretty good chop from Mitch Desnew. Another chop, and this time he'll get called. Kind of a sloppy chop, and that was one of those lazy penalties you don't want to take.
It was a lazy play, but you got to give Cody Jamieson a lot of credit on that. Because if you're looking in the hockey world, it's all about keeping your feet moving, especially lacrosse. There's a lot of translation into that. Cody kept his feet moving, and had no other choice to give him a whack. Well, he shouldn't have given him a whack, but that's what happens when
you get called on it, though.
Yeah, you get the feet moving, and stuff like that happens.
I think the sound made more of the call.
Oh, I think
You
so.
could probably hear that one without the microphones on. As the power play goes to work, this is their second look at the power play. As the ball swings up top, here's Jamieson working in. Great stop by Rose, right at his foot.
Another
Fresh
nice
30.
save.
He has just looked very confident. And now the Chiefs are heading off on a penalty. Both guys going. I'm not sure what the calls are for.
Who am I? And again, we were talking before the game just about discipline. And one of the things the Chiefs, very uncharacteristic. I know they're a team that takes a lot of penalties. traditionally, but usually it's in the roughhouse department. This year, a lot of extracurricular activity, just undisciplined stuff happening around there. And again, looking at the Monday with Billy B. Smith, got that misconduct and a double minor. The same thing in game 4, they had a double minor and a misconduct. But and again, Cody Jameson, one of the leaders, or the leader of this team, taking a penalty away from the play.
Well, that's his second penalty tonight. You don't often see Cody Jameson on the score sheet for penalties.
It's almost out of frustration.
Well, absolutely. 4-on-3 lacrosse now. A lot of floor. Great stop by Rose. Ball's right on the ground. Oakville picks it up. They score on themselves. What a break if you're the Six Nations Chiefs. A very bad miscue, but the Rock somehow find a way to score for the Chiefs.
Maybe that's a little bit of lady luck that the Chiefs need to get themselves going. And again, when you're knocking on the door like that and you're not getting any breaks, sometimes you need that little break, and this might be the break that the Chiefs were looking for.
Well, I believe it was the Snoo trying to pick it up on the crease and keep it out of going back in. But by doing that, he actually pushed the ball towards Nick Rose and scored. So we'll wait for the official announcement, but I'm not sure who will get credit on the goal. Thompson jumps early. So Randy Stotts gets the unassisted goal, his second tonight.
It's funny, Randy gets that goal. He's been on fire this entire series, only missing out on game 1 with a little bit of an injury. And goal scorer's goal, and sometimes you don't have to shoot to score.
Well, and we were talking about it. Any goal will take it. In game 5, Oakville scored a really rare goal from the corner, where Doug Jamieson just got caught maybe sleeping on the post a little bit. And now minor interference called. Oakville gets possession. 4-on-4 lacrosse now. Here's Fennell, strips the ball. And the crowd coming back into it as we have 1:10 left to play, period number 1. Fennell just couldn't catch that ball, and on the turf, it's going to be controlled by Magnuson. And now, little lady luck going Oakville's way as a possession call going in favor of the White.
That was a great defensive play. Just very relentless to get that ball.
Here's Rogers, still 4-on-4 for another 25 seconds. 50 seconds left on the game clock. Oh, works with the lefties on the far side. Into the middle for Johnny Paulus. What a stop by Dougie Jamieson. Here's Tyson Bell. They have a 2-on-2 opportunity. With 10 seconds, Bell, though, is going to pull out. And they'll wait for this game to go back to 5-on-5. Out of the box will be Cody Jamieson. And he's going to stay on and join the offense. Stotts sees Jamieson. And now over to Jackson. And they get called on a moving pick off ball side. Oakville, with 18.6 left to tick off the clock, have called their first timeout tonight.
And again, this is a good opportunity. And again, you know, if you have it, you might as well use it. And if you don't use it, you're just going to lose it. So, an instance like this, 18.6 seconds remaining in a period, you got to draw something up just to get that last shot away.
Well, Jamieson having choice words with our official Blair Ferguson as he goes off. But this will be last shot opportunity now, back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. Also, we mentioned one other game going on tonight around the league in our other semifinal. The schedules are match up for the remainder of this round. That game can be caught on Lacrosse TV, pay-per-view event for $10. Brooklyn and Peterborough in Game 6 at Iroquois Sports Park. Actually, I believe it's Iroquois Park Sports Center, but nevertheless, we'll keep you updated on the score.
It's a 2-2 try right now.
Oh, wow. Last shot opportunity. Here's Westberg. Up top for Johnny Paulus to the far side. Scores.
Wow.
Well, textbook You draw it up, and they executed the Oakville Rock with 5 goals now in the first period.
You know
We'll
what?
go to the locker room up 3.
You know what, Spencer? The Oakville Rock have been using that play for the last 3 to 4 games. They've been moving the ball well, trying to get Dougie Jameson to go left to right or right to left, and they've used that quick stick to get that shot off. And even in Game 4 here at the ILA on Sunday, I think the Rock did score 2 goals exactly like that.
So the horn ticks off the clock, and that'll do it. End of 20 minutes. Oakville, who came into this game up 3 games to 2, have a 5-2 commanding lead after 20. We'll step aside. You're watching live coverage of Six Nations Pro Fit Chief Lacrosse here on Smart Media, brought to you by our great friends at the Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic. Test, test, test. Test, test. Test, test, test. This is microphone number one. Microphone number one test. Microphone number one. Microphone number one test. Microphone number two test. Number two microphone. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test number one more time. Test number one more time. Test number two one more time. Test number two one more time. Test one, test one. Test two, test two. Test two. Test number one, test number one. One more time, 1. One more time, 2.
Second period action about to begin. We are all back in place here as we bring you live coverage here from the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. The Chiefs down by 3. The Rock, who have a chance to move on to the finals and win their first ever MSL playoff series, are up by 3 in period number 2. Chiefs this period will run from right to left in their blue with white shoulder caps. That pass was intended for Durston, but it'll be picked up by Stotts. Durston loses it. Loose ball controlled, and here comes Oakville. Rogers shoots, good stop by Jamison, though. Jamison, 5 goals on 19 shots in that first period. And now the ball works across the floor to the righties. Here's Dane Smith. He's looking to find an answer after missing games 3 and 4. And 5, rather. Oakville now to the far side. Through Dan Craig. Craig had that goal with 1.8. The beautiful drawn-up play by head coach Matt Sawyer. That gave Oakville the 5-2 lead. Here is Craig. He has 5 on the shot clock. Good pressure by the Chiefs, keeping him low. Craig up on top, but he stepped in the goal crease. So Six Nations get bailed out by the crease. Here's Jeremy Thompson. They swing it to the bench side. Dance Rose, and they score. Finally, they're able to get inside on Nick Rose, and it pays off. That's their 3rd goal tonight.
Well, Spencer, if you want to start a period off right after kind of laying, not necessarily laying an egg, but by Six Nations Chiefs standards, that's the way to get it going. And you have to get your big guys going. And you know what? Craig Point, Cody Jamison, those are your 2 veterans, and they need to get things started here if the Chiefs want to survive and move on to a Game 7 tomorrow night in Oakville.
Well, Craig Point's been around the block a long time, and so is Cody Jamison, his 5th goal in the playoffs. And that'll be his 2nd tonight. So here we go again. Dane Smith now this time. As I mentioned, he's still looking to get his feet wet, and the score sheet scores!
Wow.
Randy Stotts, a bullet. And now the Chiefs, for the first time, I think, in a long time, have 2 quick goals.
Wow, and again, it's one of those things, looking at Six Nations Chiefs teams of the past, they love to score in bunches. And we haven't seen it in a long, long time. And wow, 2 goals in less than a minute. I'd say that's bunches, Spencer.
Well, I mentioned that was Jamison's 2nd goal tonight, but that's wrong. Randy Stotts had the first 2. So my apologies to Randy. Randy Stotts, his 3rd goal and 11th of the postseason. So the crowd likes that as the Chiefs are right back in it, and we've only played 2 minutes of this 2nd period. Here they come again. Now Craig Point. Point into the middle. Shot, good stop by Rose, but he couldn't control the rebound, but the Chiefs get it. And Fennell pulls that one to safety, and the Chiefs set up on offense. Momentum heavily in favor right now of the Chiefs. Outside shot. Good stop, though, by Rose as he controls that possession. And this time, Six Nations gets called on a possession call. Oakville back the other way. Once again, glad you could be a part of this one. Wherever you're watching around the world, we've had viewers from all across
It's been
this
incredible.
great globe.
Absolutely incredible, Spencer. We've had people on vacation in South Korea.
That's fantastic.
Texas, Australia. Our good friends in Ohio, we're going to give a shout out to them, of course. They've been with us all season long. Same with our fans in Ohio, Oklahoma, St. John, New Brunswick. Last game, and there's another goal.
An unlikely guy to put one top shelf, but Tyson Bell, who has only grown as a member of this Six Nations Chief team, has tied it up at 5.
I've been a huge fan of Tyson Bell all season long. He's one of those guys, and again, I like the guys with a great salad. You know, we talked about Jacob Granza in Game 4, his salad, but you know what? Unreal flow. He's been on fire all season long, and you know what? Great defensive player, great in transition, especially in Game 4. He had a couple opportunities, wasn't able to cash, but on this one, you know what? He made his mark. He was given that much space, and we're all tied up here at 5.
So the Calgary Roughneck and St. Catharines native Tyson Bell has the 3rd straight goal for the Chiefs and 3rd straight of this period. We're tied at 5. If you missed the opening of this period and you thought it was 5-2, you missed quite a bit.
Well, I had my head down, finally recovering from fixing the audio, and all of a sudden 5-5 tie. Wow.
Oakville swings it across, looking for an answer of their own now. This might be the first game we see a little bit of scoring, folks. That we were talking about this before. Scoring has been really hard to come by all series long. Oh, that one got tipped by a Six Nations player, but now Tyson Bell starts things off as we have played 4 minutes exactly here in the second period rather.
The one thing I did notice before the game, good 2 hours before the game, usually you only have 1 or 2 Chiefs out there shooting around. There was a good number of Chiefs. Oh, wow. There's a good number of Six Nations Chiefs players out on the floor with their flip-flops or bare feet and just shooting around and getting a feel for that net tonight.
That last scoring chance was Big Brad Frank Brown. That's how he scored his goal in Oakville in Game 5, right on top of Nick Rose. And this is where all the goals seem to be coming from now, except a couple great snipes. The one from Randy Stotts in the first, and then we had Randy Stotts with his 3rd goal, the hat-trick goal, was an absolute laser beam top shelf. There's a shot, better stop by Doug Jamieson. And now the Chiefs, they have numbers if they hurry. A 2-on-1, it's Simpson, the shot, great stop by Rose. And that works as a pass, and well, White had the ball anyways, but now back the other way. Simpson and the captain of the Oakville Rock, that is number 22, Jason Noble, having some words.
That transition game of the Chiefs, I've said it over the last couple of years. One thing to get their offense going, they really need to pay more attention to that transition game. And again, that was a great example by Shane Simpson. And again, right now by Brian Cole.
Cole up, chance to take the lead, but a great stop by Nick Rose.
What a beautiful pass by Cole to Durston.
Well, this is where the Chiefs are really, I think, finding their way inside on Nick Rose, and it's through transition. They're moving the ball a lot more efficiently than I've seen throughout this series, and they're being able to get inside and being able to find these scoring chances. Randy Stotts, though, with the ball now. He likes to shoot from wherever on the floor. Great stop by Rose as he denied Dane Smith, who was just mere inches away from putting it past him. Oakville back the other way. That got by Doug Jamieson, but stays out. And once again, quick whistles on the possession, and they're not going in favor of the Chiefs.
Again, both goalies having to be on their toes. 2 big saves in a row by both goalies.
Well, here was the local fan favorite, and Johnny Paulus. Now on the opposite side of the floor, of course, and the newest member of the Toronto Rock.
I
wonder how he got in there. Must have had a good showing.
The Toronto Rock brass must have really liked him, and I think Johnny might have got a really good feel for the Toronto Rock organization, of course, with the 2 teams somewhat tied together, you'd think, or you'd say.
Well, their logo on the floor doesn't say Oakville in Oakville, so it's a pretty good guess if you're making that assumption. And now, Six Nations got away with a moving pick there, but they'll take it. Craig Point has the ball. Through Brown, over to the far side for Jackson. Comes in, that shot. Once again, whistles wide. Frank Brown chasing after it. Takes a chop, He's got 10 to shoot. Brown tried to go east-west, got picked off. Now to Jackson, who picks it up off the turf. 5 on the shot clock. Once again, that same shot has not been working. Just a bouncer trying to go far side around Rose. Always seems to miss a little bit wide.
I was just going to say, there are a lot of bounce shots. It's almost as if they're trying to put a little spin on it and put it around Rose. You can't put it through him. You got to go around, I guess.
There's one thing about goaltenders like Nick Rose and how he's been so far. If it's not working, you have to switch it up rather quickly because, I mean, he had 62 saves here in game number 4 and 45 saves game number 5. It's over 110 saves, and they didn't even come close to 10 goals. Now here is Thompson. Thompson, and a moving pick called. Oakville's going to take over on possession. A lot of possession calls in this game, but I'd rather see a possession than a penalty because I like seeing 5-on-5.
Exactly.
As the ball starts on the far side for Oakville. Oakville, there's a vicious chop, and that'll get called. Tyson Bell's going to the box. Delayed penalty arm up as Noble has it up top. There's one of the other ones. I think you heard it before you saw it.
That's how the call. It was a whack, though.
Ball's inside, and the ball gets thrown all the way down by Jamison, practicing the empty netter.
Practicing. Oh, just so close.
And hate to say it, but he's going up against a guy that's pretty darn good at throwing him down the floor. As Nick Rose, 2 goals in the NLL season last year.
These two would have a great game of catch end-to-end, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And again, we'd like to apologize for our audio problems throughout most of the first period. Not sure what was going on. We did a lot of unplugging and plugging back in. Thank goodness that the plugging worked.
Yeah.
So thanks for sticking with us.
That's why we're smart media here. You just figure it out.
I don't know where the light bulb didn't really come off on that one. It was just unplug everything.
Back in called, so Oakville will take over. As a fan yells, loosen your helmet. That is a great chirp.
That is an awesome chirp.
I can't say I've ever heard of that one with the referees wearing helmets now in Ontario. I was wondering when a referee would get chirped by a helmet, but I think that's the first time I've heard.
Well, and you should know.
I should know as a ref.
How many games did you do during the festival?
Quite a few.
Quite a few?
Quite a few.
How many in one day?
7 was the most the referee did in the festival.
No wonder your feet and your ankles look like beach balls.
And then you wonder how these players play. When we saw the schedule for this series, the first half of it wasn't bad. They went Thursday night, then Tuesday, a good weekend off. But now they're going to play, if we go to Game 7 tomorrow, that'll be 4 games in 5 nights.
And again, depth's going to be very, very important. And again, how you rested down the stretch. And of course, these two teams, like we were saying, have played so many times. And then that last game of the season when there were hardly anybody out here, probably for good reason. And this is an example of that.
Well, how about that one?
Right off the squash.
That was Tyson Bomberry's helmet. Shakes it off, good to go. Playoff lacrosse, baby. Playoff lacrosse. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. The minor penalty has 30 seconds left, and that's against Tyson Bell. This is Oakville's 3rd look on the power play. They've scored once. Loose ball battle. McKay able to push that one back, and that'll just be controlled by the Rock, who get a fresh 30. Got to thank one more time Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation, our great partners that have brought you free lacrosse here on Smart Media, and also all of our power plays and penalty kill sponsors brought to you by Dreamcatcher, as Tyson Bell is released from the penalty box. Back to 5-on-5. Noble faked the shot. Great stop by Jamison. 5 on the... Referee said no reset. I thought Jamison made the save, but I guess not. Here come the Chiefs. They'll take advantage anyways. That did hit Doug Jamison, did it not?
I thought so.
Okay.
Thought it grazed him a little bit.
Point. Oh, I thought he was going to pull the trigger. Loose ball off the turf. Dane Smith He's unable to pick up the loose ball as he bumped Dan Craig. With speed is Gillies, way outside shot. As he had the hot stick, though, tonight. 2 goals for number 6, the defenseman, Brad Gillies.
Gillies heard almost as if he heard the footsteps behind him on
the train track. Yeah, you heard the train coming. But if you got 2 goals tonight, I mean, pretty hard to say why not shoot.
Oh,
Stotts
my goodness.
Scores!
Wow. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, and look out now, as we'll see if a penalty comes, but the Chiefs, 4 straight goals, have a 6-5 lead.
That was beautiful lacrosse, Spencer. Holy smokes. Just beautiful passing. And again, one thing I've noticed so far from this game is there's a lot of inside passing back to the outside and trying to really create space for themselves. And in that instance, that really worked. Wow, what a beautiful goal.
Well, Dane Smith, who must be itching just to shoot it, wisely passes it down low and sees Randy Stotts creeping in, who has his 4th goal tonight now, right over top of the shoulder, dancing on the crease. So Stotts his 4th, and here's the goal announcement from the PA announcer, Rod Mahood, with his 4th of the game.
Randy Stotts is quickly showing why he has the potential to be one of the most dominant players in the world. He shows so much poise on the outside, and he goes to the net with no fear. And you have a combination like that, it really is deadly. And you know what? Randy Stotts has showed that he is one of the most dominant players in Major Series Lacrosse.
Well, 4 goals in one night, where a team was only able to put up 4 goals combined on Monday.
Again, he's playing field lacrosse too right now.
That's right.
So, again, young legs on it.
Well, here he comes again. He's thrown right back into the fire. Stotts trying to pick up. He's bumped by Desnew. Into the middle, Frank Brown does not score. It's tucked into the leg pad of Nick Rose.
It's almost as if the Chiefs have taken a page out of the Rock's handbook and trying with those quick pass, quick shot. And that's something that they were able to catch Dougie Jamieson on, and of course they scored in the first period on that. But the Chiefs have really started that. Wow.
Well, how about that one? Whistled right by the ears, and Rose didn't even move. Talk about poise. Now to Point. Craig Point also looking to get back on the score sheet. Some of the big names here have yet to find a goal. Jordan Durston really quiet for the Chiefs.
He's been one of those guys throughout this entire series. He's been drawing 2-3 defenders on him. And again, in an instance like that, you have to distribute the ball. And look at Dane Smith down to the other end. He drew 2 guys in and just passed it up high down to Craig Point.
Well, here comes Billy D. Smith. And now to Thompson. Stotts. He gets bumped off to the crease. What a great stop though. That would have been highlight reel contender, but Rose there with the great stick save.
It's almost as if they're playing in the backyard, just the way that they're passing the ball. And, you know, it's funny. The Chiefs have almost played 2/10 all series long, and tonight,
very fair statement.
They've been very loose tonight, and you know, even from the onset when they were shooting around, guys were joking around. Jerome Thompson, again, he's not in the lineup tonight, but as soon as he got out on the floor when they were just shooting around, he's goofing around with the other guys, and everybody has a nice little laugh. You know what? Something like that does translate into a game, and they are playing loose, and they're playing like it's in the backyard. And again, the creative players need that.
Well, they have everything on the line, and they need a win tonight, so whatever's going to work. Here comes the Rock back the other way. Great stop by Jamieson. Gets bumped by his own teammate, though, and that was Durston hustling back. And now, with speed, here comes David Brock.
Johnny on the spot, David Brock's part as well, having to hustle back as Dougie and Jordan ran into each other.
Great flip pass behind the back. Here comes Desnew. Desnew to the far side. Shot, that one right off the back of Blair Ferguson, and he's in pain. That is going to leave a mark. Right on the crease now, but he couldn't find a way to put it around Dougie. And out of play, Off blue, it'll stay Rock ball.
Fergie will be telling you about that one after the game, that's for
Yes,
sure.
yes. He will tune in to watch that one again. And
oh, man.
I wish we had a close-up camera because his face, we could see it from here, obviously in discomfort.
If I had the DSLR, it would have been a great photo.
Oh, yeah. Well, last year you were unbelievable with somehow the action shots and talking. But this time the Rock find an answer and they stop the bleeding. Oakville, it took them 14-34 to score in the second period. They got one. It's now tied at 6.
But again, you know what? The Rock with nice ball distribution. They went around the horn, they go across, and of course finished off with a nice shot and beats Jamison. Now we're up back to a tie game.
Well, a great low skim shot right around the turf that went right between the legs of Doug Jamison. So Jeremy Noble has this game back at 6s.
Just over halfway through this one, we've got more goals now than we've had in several games.
Well, Tyson Bomberry jumps in to take the face off, and he cleanly won that one back. As Brian Cole dishes off, and Six Nations trying to find their second lead tonight. Jamison with it. Gets bumped off. All over him, that's 45, and Luke Magnan. Up top, they come for Randy Stotts. 4 goals tonight. Oh, trying to go underhand. But Rose, his stick was there.
Channeling his inner Cody Jamison.
Oh, that goal was beautiful. On absolutely a thing of beauty. Cody Jamison on Monday night danced around 2 defenders and somehow had the patience and the IQ to put that one low while under pressure. Good chop, great stop by Doug Jamison right into the beautiful Chief logo on that sweater. That pass connects with Simpson. The captain, Jason Noble, coming off, but he couldn't get it in time, and the shot goes wide. By the way, Brooklyn once again on top in game number 6.
What a great series.
Well, they started off, everyone thought it was almost over. But the Lakers, caught now in a little bit of a trouble of their own, down 4-3. That game, of course, on pay-per-view on Lacrosse TV.
And you know what? It just shows the competitiveness of Major Series Lacrosse. We've been saying it for several years. Just the parity in this league.
It's unreal this year.
Oh, everybody talks about a 2-horse race all the time or a 3-horse race. You know what? Even the Brooklyns and the Coburgs this year. You know what? Brampton gave Six Nations fits all season long in the regular season. And you know what? Coburg was very, very competitive. I think 2 ties. And you know what?
And it starts from the back out. I mean, look at all the goaltenders that were in this league this year.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, Angus Goodleaf right now is on the bench. Zach Higgins is on the bench for Brooklyn tonight.
It's insane.
They have Doug Buchan and Evan Kirk on the bench tonight. Of course, both of them not dressed, but there's 3 goaltenders they have in Peterborough. I mean, the goaltenders are wild. There are tons of them in this great province, and that's why this MSL is so competitive all year.
And it's been great to see. And you know, it's made for a really entertaining regular season.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
It's really making this postseason that much more special.
Outside shot, great stop. Trying to swing that one in, a nice wrist shot. But Dougie Jamison standing tall. He's bounced back well after that first period, allowing 5, including 1 that he wanted back with 1.8 left. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here, period number 2. The Chiefs gets bump off the ball. That's Jackson still with it now. Magnan takes a swing at him. Cody Jamison with one hand. Jamison, the shot, short side, missed wide. And that will be a shot clock violation. Oakville ball with 2:24 left, period number 2. Be sure to follow everything social media about our Six Nations Chiefs. Be sure to chat in our live chat. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're rooting for, of course. 15 on the shot clock. Outside shot.
That's a great shot by Dan Craig. He's had a good series.
Nice pass, Brian Cole with it. Well, he's a shooter, and when he shoots the ball, like we saw with 1.8 left in that first period, magical things happen. And
he's had a fantastic series.
Absolutely.
So far.
You look at the additions the Oakville's picked up this year.
Dan Craig, Johnny Palace, 2 guys that have been instant impacts. And
And of course, with Johnny Paulus going there, you were talking that ruffles some feathers of the hometown faithful here in Six Nations, but what a year he has had and an impact. You mentioned it. He's been one of those go-to guys all year for him.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that Johnny probably wanted to be. He wanted to be a focal point on the offense, and where he was almost not necessarily a depth player with the Chiefs, but he had a role to play in Six Nations. And with Oakville, he's really flourished in that spotlight. And you know what? With the Toronto Rock now signing him, he'll be that focal point where in other cases, in some of his stops in the National Lacrosse League, he hasn't really been that focal point.
So Shane Simpson got the gate, a holding call, a pretty easy one to make for the official Blair Ferguson. With 1:11 left in our second period of play.
Oh, apparently, according to one of our viewers, point streak is actually wrong, the Lakers goalie tonight.
Okay.
The Lakers are tweeting that Evan Kirk is in fact in net tonight.
Well, Evan Kirk, who recently got married on Saturday night, so congratulations to the Kirk entire family. So that's good. If he's good to know, maybe someone in Brooklyn watching the game on their phone or tablet, wherever you're watching from.
And we'd like to give a shout out to Chris, who's watching from Toronto. Thanks for joining us. And UK Lax fan. Yes, folks, the UK.
That's awesome.
Stockport, England. Thanks for tuning in and joining us and being part of Six Nations Chiefs Lacrosse live and online on YouTube. That's fantastic.
All around the world.
It's all about growing the game, my friend. It really is all about growing the game.
Well, and then when the World Championships happened, I was talking to a couple people that were there, and just the atmosphere, all the games, no matter who was playing, everyone there watching with a smile on their face, and no matter what the score, and mind you, there was some, you look at all the scores from their game, there was a lot of lopsided games.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The country was there, they were playing. That's what'll get this sport in the Olympics. That shot blocked. 38 on the game clock. 10 seconds for Oakville to shoot. Nice flip pass from Johnny Paulus, but just out of the reach. Dan Craig reaches in. So that'll be a crease call against Oakville. Here come the Chiefs.
That's a rare miscue. Johnny Paulus to Dan Craig. Those two have been two peas in a pod.
Well, that's a pretty good left side if you're Matty Sawyer.
Sure. That's for sure.
And you think about it, Andrew Q, another lefty, not even on the power play, as Johnny Paulus takes his spot. Randy Stotts, great save.
It's crazy when you have wholesale change like that.
Yeah. So the period will come to an end. They get the shot off and heads up. Randy Stotts coming in, and this will cause some havoc. Here comes everybody into this one now. Craig Point takes a guy, a couple of fights.
Oh!
Randy Stotts is just feeding. Can't see who that is for Oakville. Point and DeSnew tangled up. Well, Ferguson's holding back, but watch out behind the net. Craig Point and DeSnew are going to go at it. These are the only two that are left, kind of jawing at each other. And this would be a tough loss for Craig Point to drop out of this one.
Again, Randy Stotts more than likely out of the game. That's going to hurt.
Well, it's a trade-off for Oakville that I'm sure they wanted, but what an end to this second period.
And, of course, no love lost between these two teams.
No.
It's ninth game in a row. No love lost between these two teams.
With one more still to come, possibly. We won't jinx anything. 20 minutes left to play. We're going to reset. It's 6-6, which means one period could decide it, or will we need overtime here in Game 6? Stick with us. You're watching live coverage of ProFit Chiefs Lacrosse, brought to you by the Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation on Smart Media. Thanks for joining us here on Smart Media. We'll try to figure out all those penalties at the end of the second period. If you're just joining us, you missed a couple of fights. Randy Stotts was tangled up and throwing haymakers. Craig Point was tangled up with Mitch Desnew.
So they must have went into the dressing room to discuss this because...
Well, Jameson's going to the penalty box. So is... Hang on, no one from Oakville yet. Now Craig Point. So they have 4 guys in the box.
Hotel. Randy's trying to figure out what's going on. He's in behind Angus Goodleaf. Yeah, he's behind Angus Goodleaf. Not on the bench yet, because if he is,
so
that's
5.
Bad news.
And if I have a good guess, that should be Randy Stotts' 5. If they're calling a one-man fight or whatever they're going to call that, because he was, let's just say, doing good work on an Oakville player.
But again, that's going to hurt.
But I only see 1 Oakville player in the box. 4 for the Chiefs.
That's going to hurt if Randy Stotts is gone.
No kidding.
My goodness.
Oh, there's 2. 2 Rock players. 1's a ref. Oh, no, 3. Fergie's right there. Well, they just keep popping out of nowhere. So eventually we'll get it all straightened out.
It doesn't look like Randy was too pleased when he was walking back through the.
Well, you had to imagine.
Him. Oh man, he's having himself another game too.
4 goals. So that's a loss. This is where, though, guys like Craig Point, Dane Smith, who's yet to get a point, I believe.
But you know, he's looked.
Oh no, Dane Smith does have an assist for sure.
He's looked really good so far, and especially for a guy with that.
Well, excuse me, 3
we're
assists
just
for Dane
assuming
Smith.
What his injury is, and we've heard a little bit of a rumor or a couple of rumors, but you know what, lower body injuries, those are tough, and especially if it is in fact in the leg area, that's a tough thing to play with, and you know what. I guess when your back's against the wall like this, you want to do anything for your teammates, and you can see throughout the series, and Dane's been in the stands. He hasn't liked it one bit.
Well, you know what I find interesting about sports, and when teams address the media and say when a player's hurt and what they're going to diagnose it as. Oddly enough, but baseball seems to be the one where they are very descriptive in saying, yep, my guy's got a blister tonight. Whereas here, he clearly has a leg problem. It's a lower body injury. So
exactly. Or a couple of years ago, Cody Jamieson, lower body injury.
Yeah.
We all knew
yeah.
he was basically walking on one leg.
Right. And played.
And you know what? Again, you go back to that, and I'm not going to compare Dane Smith to Cody Jamieson at all, but you know what? Cody Jamieson played on one leg, and that was just pure heroics.
So Luke Magnan is going in the box. That'll be the 3rd guy for Oakville. By the way, the second period ended. We are going to start the 3rd period momentarily.
And shots on net, it was 21-20 after 1 period in favor of the Chiefs, and 20-20 in that second period. So, again, the Chiefs holding on to a slim 1-shot margin. And again, 40-plus shots already.
Well,
again, might as well give shout-outs while we're watching to our friends watching the game. And again, we got to thank you. Can't thank you enough for tuning in live and online with us and just sharing your comments with us. We've got Kirk from Cranston, Rhode Island. Thanks for joining us. And again, Oklahoma sending out a big shout out. Brian Hilton, thanks again for joining us. You've been with us all season long, and thanks for joining us. And hopefully this isn't the last telecast, that's for sure.
So we're just trying to figure out all the penalties right now.
I think the busiest person in the building right now is our stats guy beside us, Carl, who's got his fingers working with these penalties. Nobody told him until now. Wow, what a beautiful save.
That was a pretty well-placed shot, and I don't think if he doesn't go down in the butterfly and get his toe out there, that's a goal. Great stop. Here's Cole. Shot right off the shoulder and out of play. Chiefs get possession.
That hit Nick Rose right square into that shoulder.
Oh, wow. So not good news at all if you're the Chiefs. Randy Stotts, 5 for fight and a game misconduct. Also, 5 minutes for an aggressor, which adds a second game misconduct because of 2 majors in a game. So if there's a game 7, I don't know how the league works that out, but it's not looking good for Randy Stotts in the lineup tomorrow.
Boy, some great work on the penalty kill by Eric Fennell. And again, all season long, he's been fantastic in that role. And he just ragdolls himself up against the boards and takes 3 Rock players with him. And he takes he's a little guy too, and he's taken all sorts of punishment.
So 3 minutes, 20 seconds left on this 5-minute major power play. And I think the major that cancels, the major that stands out alone as the power play will be Randy Stotts' aggressor. So that is...
It's a costly penalty, that's for sure.
It's a trade-off Oakville wanted, obviously, but if you're a fighting fan, my God. Hope you had your phone out here at the ILA, because that was a beating.
And again, a rarity in Major Series Lacrosse and across the CLA over the last several years with the new fighting rules.
Now Berg. They go through Noble to the far side. Here is Noble. Billy D on him.
Wow,
great stop by
save.
Dougie. You could tell he knew where the ball was going, and he executed the beautiful butterfly stop perfectly.
Dougie Jamieson with a Warren Hill-like save with a sliding
right
to left. Wow.
Boy, was he good for the Senior B Rivermen. Unfortunately, they got beat out by Oakville's Titans, who I believe leave for Nanaimo next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Lots of lacrosse still left.
Loose ball picked up, and the Chiefs have a one-on-one. Here's Bomberry, the shot. Oh, twister, but a better stop by Nick Rose, who didn't seem phased.
Man, I've been really impressed with Tyson Bomberry all season long. He's one of the, and again, a little bit of a changing of the guard almost this season with a lot of youth in the Chiefs lineup. And Tyson Bomberry, of course, captain of the Six Nations Arrows last year, Minto Cup champion. He's won, what is he, won 3 Minto Cups. It's been fantastic, and he shows a ton of leadership for a kid. And you know what, stepping up to this level, he's not been out of place at all.
Here's Brian Cole. Chiefs have numbers. The shot, great stop by Rose as he makes the rebound save as well. Got a funny feeling this will be a seesaw battle all the way to the end, and we might have a last shot opportunity. We'll win a game.
Much like game 4 back here at the ILA on Sunday with that last second heroics by Nick Rose, a pair of saves right near the end there.
Ball to top, good stop. As he has really found his groove now as Doug Jamieson makes the stop and a better rebound recovery. Here come the Chiefs. Up over half, it's Simpson. By the way, 47 seconds. That's all that's left to kill off the major penalty. Now, in the box, there are still 4 players for each team.
It's like a hotel in there.
I think once the 5s will be over, they're waiting for dead balls. And obviously, 1 penalized player for the Chiefs will come out and we'll play 5-on-5. That ball thrown down to the corner. So we'll keep an eye on the penalty boxes because it's hard to keep track of who's all in there, but
there's going to be a vacancy sign lighting up in an awful hurry once there's a stoppage in play.
Outside shot, high and wide. Van Galen trying to go 5-hole. Rebound, great stop. Pretty sure that caught the arm, but the referee never saw it, so no reset coming for the Rock.
Van Galen's been great at that all series long, getting his own rebound and getting the shot off.
Tyson Bell, flip pass. Here's McKay, 1-on-0, skills comp, just shoots wide. Tyson Bell can't control. And now Oakville has numbers back the other way.
What a lucky break for the Oakville Rock on that one. That ball just caromed a little too high for McKay to pick up.
Van Galen's shot gets kicked out. Big hit up front. And now it's ball bounces and finds the stick of Noble. Hard seal from Dallas Bridle. Dan Craig the shot. That's off the glass and out of play. So the Chiefs will take a breather and get the ball.
You can really feel the tension in here. It's kind of strange. You haven't. I know I haven't felt it in quite some time. But boy, oh boy, you can really feel it here with every shot. The crowd is on their the seat of their seat, or on the
crowd here
seat,
wants a Game 7, no doubt about that. And that game tomorrow night, 8 p.m. start time, if necessary, of course.
And you'll have the color. You'll be doing color for that one.
Yeah, your TV. If you're in the Oakville, Burlington, Halton Hills area, your TV has the call.
Or if you're in that area and you could somehow stream that game from your television, that would be greatly appreciated because we won't be able to watch it out here.
Yeah, streaming, of course, a big concern with fans across the MSL, and we do our part here to try and bring you free coverage all year long. 6-4 for the Brooklyn Redmen right now. You can catch that game on Lacrosse TV. It's a pay-per-view event tonight.
And another great series.
Oh, back and forth. I mean, you look at the guy, you almost wonder how Brooklyn never found a way to win in those first 3 games because the games, just like here, 1 2-goal games. Except that they believe game 3, 10-4, 10-5, and a lot of power play goals in that game.
And man, Dan Lintner having a game for himself. 1, 2, 3. 3 goals already for the Brooklyn Redmen.
Sounds familiar to someone here. Although that player out. Loose ball. That's Johnny Paulus. Chiefs have really held him quiet tonight. The shot outside. Thompson's got it.
Hopefully your buddies with Polaris are going to give us a shout out. We've been giving them shouts out all night long. They better be returning the favor.
Yeah, you know what, we've said it. It's great to see teams bringing coverage, of course, of the MSL.
They really are doing a great job over there, as is our good buddy Gary Morrison over at JVI, who was with Coburg all season long, and he's there. He has his team at the Founders Cup right now, and was watching it during the day today. And again, great coverage of lacrosse, and the JVI Sports bringing you the Founders Cup online on YouTube for free.
Good hit. What a story the Founders Cup has been this year. I believe that is Van Galen down and slow to get up, but the Founders Cup, it's been one of those years where everyone was in question about it. And then late in June, and the Chiefs get caught with 6 on the floor. And now they get caught delaying the game. Simpson's going to go to the box, and it'll be a 2-minute delay a game penalty.
Almost a desperation play on Simpson's part on that one, and he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, quite literally.
Well, penalties are what cost Six Nations in game number 5. They've been a little more controlled tonight, other than, of course, that melee we saw at the end of the second period. But with 12:45 left to go here, period number 3, tied at 6. Oakville to the power play. Also, be sure to give us a follow and like all on our social media platforms. Six Nations Chiefs are all over the web.
Six Nations Chiefs it's Six Nations Chiefs on Instagram. On Twitter, it's SN_Chiefs. And then on Facebook, you just have to look for Six Nations Chiefs. Or our website, sixnationschiefs.blogspot.com.
The logo travels.
Oh, it's one of the best logos. We were talking at Intermission about best logos. We were talking about the Hilo United Chiefs, the fastball team. I was showing you guys that logo. You still love the Lacrosse Chiefs logo, that's for sure.
Andrew Q moments ago just rang one off the post. Shot. Oh, that one tried to go same spot, but this time off the roof here at the ILA. They're announcing the 50-50 number tonight. What a jackpot it'll be tonight. Pretty decent crowd here. Got to be pushing just over 1,000 people or so in the building. Here's Jackson with some time and space trying to kill off Simpson's penalty. Oh, that stick's pretty up high. Penalty arm up, and the Chiefs are going to be back to 4-4, even lacrosse. As penalties coming, it's a hold, and it's going against Brad Gillies.
Great effort by Kyle Jackson, though. One hand on the stick, and you know what? He draws two defenders and does everything he could to keep his feet up onto the ground and drops the ball back. And a beautiful play by Kyle Jackson to draw the penalty. And again, it all comes down to moving your feet.
Well, I have to give a shout out now to Roman Hill. Roman, the coach of the Fort Erie Intermediate Hawks, who also played at the Ontario Lacrosse Festival, and he jumped up and coached the midget team. He's watching tonight. He gave me a text that said, "Where's my shout out?" So I have to get him in there. As we are under 11.5 to play. 6-6 game, 4-on-4 lacrosse. Ball to the far side for Oakville. Here's Q. What a player he is going to be. As that ball right between the feet of Doug Jamieson stays out.
Great presence of mind by Dougie on that one. Didn't really know where it was, but he knew enough not to step back.
Q, of course, first season in the MSL, and no doubt in my mind, probably Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
As that ball tried to get picked up by the Chiefs, put a possession call, and I think it's been a while. This has been maybe the first possession the Chiefs get their way.
You see along the glass Randy Stutz in his no lacrosse gear.
And now possession back the other way on a minor interference call. I spoke too soon. Here's Gillies. .45 seconds left in the minor penalty to Oakville. Van Galen seems to be okay after taking that bump earlier on in the third period. All over him is David Brock. Support is Storos. And Leo Storos has the ball for the Chiefs, the Kitchener, Ontario native.
As we're reaching this halfway point of the third period, very tentative so far, and of course, not a lot of momentum, of course, because of all the penalties. And now we're about 17 seconds away from full strength. This should be a very, very tight and very, very interesting last 10 minutes of the third period.
What a save by Nick Rose. Lady Luck on his side there. Is that one off the butt end of the stick? Loose ball, controlled by the Chiefs. They get a fresh clock. Frank Brown to the near side for Jordan Durston. Still waiting for him to come out of his shell. Maybe here, Durston, great stop. Better save by Rose. And now the Rock have some speed, but they'll just settle down. As with the ball, here's Hostrauser.
Durston's really made a lot happen, but he hasn't been able to find the back of the net.
Well, and as a shooter, he's got to be getting not only frustrated, but he's wondering what else he can do because he had a great scoring chance there. He's been shooting the ball all series long, but great shooters know shooters are going to shoot, and it will come.
And again, speaking of shooters, that was a great effort by Dane Smith. You could tell he's really hurting. And along the boards, he's given everything he's got.
Well, that was like Westburg game number 5 it was. This is game 6. Mm-hmm. And you could tell he was very tentative to put some pressure on his lower legs. Nice spin move. Great stop by Doug Jamieson. And if you're a fan of goaltending, my God, you tuned into the right channel.
Speaking of rookies and this youth movement coming up in the Major Series Lacrosse, and especially the Six Nations Chiefs, Dougie Jamieson, come on. Fresh out of junior lacrosse, even though, you know, he's played professional lacrosse already, but man, oh man, he's stepped right into Major Series Lacrosse, and he's looking like one of the best goaltenders in the world.
Fennell swings, and he gets the ball. Great stick check. And the crowd letting him hear it as we are under 8.5 to play. Glad you could be a part of this one. Spencer Tangway and Daryl Smart here on Smart Media to bring you free coverage of this Game 6. To the middle. Just couldn't connect with Fennell, and that's Chandler Rogers pulling it out. The big man.
That's
great
the first
long
time
reach.
That's the first time the Chiefs have been able to get outside in this period.
Rogers. Here comes Bridle. Great stop. That is a little bit too high, but luckily the Chiefs kept 2 guys back, so a slow restart will benefit Six Nations. Here's Oakville. 20 on the shot clock. trying to find some magic and win their first MSL playoff series. It's kind of hard to believe because right when they came in, they were no sleeper team.
Wow,
that is for
what
sure.
A save.
Loose ball is going to be picked up by the Chiefs. And here's Simpson over to Tyson Bell.
Just unbelievable, Dougie Jamieson. My goodness. And it was funny. We were talking about Dougie Jamieson a couple of days ago. I was talking with some of the Chiefs brass, and we were trying to figure out when the last time a homegrown goaltender has the potential to be that #1 for the Chiefs. And we were thinking Monster was the last one. Kenny Montour was the last homegrown goaltender to be the #1 guy for the Chiefs. And you know what? Dougie Jamieson is proving to be that right now. And again, when you have 1A, 1B this season with Angus Goodleaf and Dougie Jamieson, it's the future looks really bright for this Chiefs team.
David Brock, veteran for the Chiefs. He's up high, trying to control Dallas Bridle, who comes in, and he couldn't get a stick on it. So the Chiefs kill off another 30. Probably the best thing the Chiefs can do is just keep killing off 30s. The goals will come. We know they can score. They've scored 4 in a row in that second period, all within about 5 minutes of each other.
And it's peach season, so they were doing it in bushels.
Here's Fennell. Frank Brown scores. Talk about a timely goal.
Wow, what a goal by Frank Brown. And we haven't really called Frankie Brown's name all that much tonight. And you know what? All series long, he's been a real factor, making things happen. But you know what? Yeah, and again, we haven't really called his name out too much today. But again, third period, when it counts, Frankie Brown gets the ball, corrals it, goes right up the heart, and he beats Nick Rose. And the Six Nations Chiefs now lead 7-6 with 6:11 left in this third period.
He's been an addition to this team that has paid off for Six Nations. He scored game number 5, one of their 4 goals, and it's exactly how he scored this one. A twist shot right on top of Rose.
And I really think that was one of the main reasons why the Chiefs took so long to get going this season. The Chiefs brass really made a lot of moves in the offseason. And again, like I was saying, because of injuries to some of the veteran players, it's almost been a changing of the guard or a passing of the torch, if you will, with this youth movement and Frankie Brown being a part of that.
And Thompson gets caught moving on the dot. He knew it right away. So now, Oakville down 7-6, and you knew as a lacrosse fan this would be a game to mark on your calendar.
Oh,
but here
wow.
comes Rogers, and Challen Rogers, not even 10 seconds later, has tied it at 7.
Well, that's what you call a response, Spencer. Wow, Challen Rogers gets the ball, and he didn't waste any time, and he just lasered that one by Dougie. And now guess what? We're tied.
Well, you said it exactly, a response. They moved quickly off the dot, and Challen Rogers, time and space, right in that high slot, blew one right by Dougie Jamieson. So here we go, James Barclay now to take the draw.
It'd help if I'd put third period up on the scorebook. It is indeed, for our fans watching, yes, it has been the third period for the last 15 minutes. Sorry about that.
Tape delay. We're still in the second, folks. I
not
kid you not.
coordinated enough to do 3 or 4 things at the same time.
Right.
Good
We are in the third, though. 7-7 the score. Glad you can be a part of this one. The Chiefs found a way to open the scoring in the third. And then 8 seconds later, Oakville ties it up. It was Challen Rogers. Here comes Billy D. This would be huge if he could get a point to make up for what happened in Game 5. Now Jackson. Dane Smith. That shot deflected, goes high and wide. Loose ball all the way up to Jammer here up top. Jackson, bouncer. Wow. Had Rosie moving, but he couldn't get it on net. Jamieson tried to get one that deep, but the ball will just be controlled by Oakville as the time will tick off the shot clock.
Speaking of tandems, I really enjoy watching Kyle Jackson and Cody Jamieson play. And again, was fortunate enough to help call a game during the National Lacrosse League season, and watching those two guys work together, it's been it's fun to watch in the big show and in the big arena. And it's even nicer to see in the little arena here in front of a nice intimate crowd here. And a great crowd at the ILA tonight.
Well, Rochester, of course, glad to have those two as we're under 5 to play. 4 minutes, 35 left to go here, period number 3. Tie game, as it should be for this series. Game 6. Oakville up 3-2, trying to hold on and basically erase tomorrow off their calendar. Nations, on the other hand, the bus, they already have it booked.
They've got their own bus.
Right, yeah. I guess I should have known that. Run with the champions written all over the side of it.
Well, actually, you know what? The bus, well, they'll probably have the bus. I was just going to say the Hill United Chiefs, I think, have the bus as the Hill United Chiefs, the fastball team, are currently in Kitchener at the International Softball Congress World Championships. And, of course, last year they lost the world title and looked to get back on top of the mountain there.
Host Strauser dishes off. Here is Van Galen to the far side. To Q. That pass in between Van Galen and Magnan,
wow.
and what a hit from Cole.
You know what, Spencer? Brian Cole he didn't care where that ball was. He had his sights set on one thing and one thing only, and it certainly wasn't the ball.
Well, Dougie Jamieson, a scare right there, as that was a bouncer from 150 feet or so that just missed. Here's Kyle Jackson. Jackson on with Durston. Jackson has room. Oh, and he just missed wide. Loose ball. Who's going to get it? 2 Rock there and 2 Chiefs. Durston had it, but he loses control. Durston trying to kick it to himself. The ball right to half now. And the Chiefs can't pick it up. They need to get it down the floor, and they get it about 30 feet to the restraining line.
Boy, oh boy, as well, we have a break in the action. The Brooklyn Redmen now lead 7-4.
Wow.
Over the Peterborough Century 21 Lakers.
Talk about a comeback story there from Iroquois Sports. With possession, Oakville trying to regain their lead, which they've had for almost the entire game, except when the Chiefs came back in the second.
Great effort there by Jeremy Noble, trying to get inside, and he squeaked right by David Brock and got that shot away on Dougie Jamieson.
Dane Smith leaves it off, goes through Craig Point, still looking for his first goal in his 3 or 4 games. That was intended to go to Durston, doesn't work. Rose stepping out. 2 minutes left to play, period number 3.
That's the second or third time that Durston has got inside there, and off the cut, he just hasn't been able to get that stick on the ball.
Through Andrew Q. Here's Van Galen trying to work in the shot wide. That'll be possession to the Chiefs as the ball goes out of play. Both teams still do have a timeout. Here in the third. Here is Jackson. $1:35 left to go, period number 3. Jackson gets that back from Dane Smith. Jackson trying to find a shooting lane. Doesn't have one. Dane Smith comes out. Ball now to the right, lefties, excuse me. Here's Fennell. Fennell into the middle. Great stop by Rose, and Oakville has the ball. They're pushing the floor. 3-on-2 with numbers. Ball in control. That's Krepinsak. Krepinsak tried to take the shot. Great D.
What a play by Billy D.
Chiefs.
Smith on that one. Threw his body right out of the ball.
Thompson, the only Chief in over half. He pulls out, and he allows the change as Craig Point. Cody Jamieson, Durston join him. To Durston, again couldn't control and pull the trigger.
You can see the crowd on that one. As soon as Cody made that pass, half this barn were on their feet.
Here's Jeremy Noble. No one knew where that was going except Andrew Q, who's right in front of the bench. Q, Bell all over him. Chiefs trying to find a way to get a goal late. Bell has it. Timeout called, and with 29.2 to go, the Chiefs have last shot.
Holy smokes, Spencer. Holy smokes. That's all I have to say.
Well,
you knew it was going to come to this, didn't you?
A timeout called, under 30 to go. Last shot opportunity, and we talked about it. This could be a game where the last shot could win. And Nick Rose does not leave his crease as he looks as focused as he's going to be. So you draw up a play, and hate to go back to the first period, but this is where Six Nations got burned.
Yeah.
This could be huge payback and redemption time that could punch their ticket to tomorrow night's game number 7.
And it's just funny watching. Look who's drawing that play up.
Of course.
One of the greatest of all time.
I mean,
the GOAT himself.
You want to talk about a guy that could play on one leg, one arm, no legs. That guy right there.
Well,
Buffalo Bandit
this
legend.
Year. Game
Yeah,
against
right.
Peterborough early in
right.
the season. The Chiefs didn't have enough players, and for some reason, Johnny had his gear in the back of his
Probably always
car.
has it. Always has it.
And one of the greatest of all time suits up for the Chiefs and unretires for
We're
one game.
Underway. Shot clock turned off as it means nothing here. Durston hangs way up high. Jackson gets the ball back from Jammer.
What's
Chiefs
your
will
prediction
wait.
on this one, Spencer?
Well, I think it's going to be an outside shot. Jammer with it now.
I see Dane Smith with a shot.
Jackson has it. Wade Smith. Bouncer. Oh, there it was, but he just missed wide. And this game is not over after 60 minutes. We'll play 70 tonight and go to overtime.
Well. If this series didn't have a little bit of everything already, we have now got everything.
So they'll take a 10-minute intermission, and we'll come back. We'll play 10 more. You're watching live coverage of MSL right here on Smart Media, brought to you by the Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation. 7-7. The fourth period's next. 60 minutes in the books. Time for 10 more minutes of overtime. They're just going to reset the clock here to put 10 on the scoreboards of both ends here at the ILA. And here we go. The first period of overtime, it's a full 10-minute. So there can be obviously more than one goal. Loose ball on the ground. Face-off, one back by the Oakville Rock. And they're going right to business. Here's Rogers. Rogers pump fakes. That shot's well wide and out of play. Be sure to tweet and tag and comment who you think will be the first goal scorer in overtime. You can say overtime hero, but in a full 10-minute, there could be more than one goal. So who do you think will score the first goals for both teams? Here's Jackson. Great stop by Rose. Oh, what a flip pass. Up top, winds, fires, oh, and just went wide. That was Craig Point, who just nearly missed. Here's Dane Smith.
And with a minute left out in Brooklyn, the Redmen leading the Peterborough Lakers 9-6.
Now, Jamison, he tried magically to go.
We were talking about that in the third period.
Shovel pass. Can he get a shot on net before the clock? No. And Oakville will take over the ball. Ball will start back at half. Here's Bridle. Bridle bounce pass off the turf to the far side. Gets it back. Bridle now to the lefties to Q. Back over to Van Galen. Oakville goes strong left, strong right rather. To the crease, what a stop by Jamison. Andrew Q, Rookie of the Year, of course, not announced yet, but not sure if there's really a race. Shot, wide, up, stays in.
Gotta love the interaction of some of our followers watching the game. There's a great chat going on right now between some of the fans. Thanks for joining us, and glad you guys are enjoying yourselves.
Maybe some of those viewers that bought the pay-per-view event at Brooklyn now tuning into Smart Media to see what is going on here.
The ultimate in bonus coverage.
Bonus coverage. It's like a rain delay when you want to watch your baseball game and they say, nope, sorry, but we'll give you Yankee baseball instead.
Hopefully you're still plugged in.
Yeah, that's right. Ball to the far side for Oakville. We're still looking for the first one to crack the seal here in overtime. Scores.
Wow. Again, we're talking about Dan Craig having a series for himself. And you know what? That's a shooter's goal right there.
Well, you knew it was going to come. And Dan Craig, just a well-placed shot that'll beat Doug Jamison. And now it's 8-7 or 1-0 in overtime.
And it is an unofficial final in Brooklyn, 9-6, and they're going to Game 7 in Peterborough.
That, of course, tomorrow night as well. That was Jeremy Thompson trying to find Twine. Back in's going to be called, and the Chiefs get a break, and they'll get fresh legs on the floor.
The marketing department really wasn't thinking of Major Series Lacrosse. I hate to sound like that.
No.
But stacking up both series on the same night, all the time.
And unfortunately, due to streaming rights at the moment, none of those games will be available on the internet.
Yep, no comment.
Loose ball picked up by Oakville. Just tried to reach, I believe that is Gillies. He's got 2 goals tonight, looking for a third. Gillies just flips it back. Here's Barclay. Down low to the crease, Van Galen. Van Galen up top for Q. Q, the shot, that's going to get deflected off of the
Tyson
back.
Bell, that one got him right in the behind, and it looked like he got stung by a bee there.
I see what you did there. 6:30 left to go, period number 4. 8-7. Dan Craig has the lone goal in overtime so far. Ball to the far side. Shot, that's wide, and it'll hit the roof. Slipped up, and here comes Noble for the Oakville Rock, slowly trotting his way over half. Noble to Jubenville, back to Noble. Swings through Johnny Paulus. Fakes, tries to find an answer. On him is David Brock. Brock lets Craig slip by, but Jameson's there to make the save.
Great inside-out game by Dan Craig.
Now to McKay. McKay, he's able to slip under his check up to Kyle Jackson. Couldn't pull it, but now that was a beautifully flipped pass that turned into a one-timer, but Ethan O'Connor couldn't find Twine.
Nearly found an opening on that. It just goes wide.
Van Galen now to Johnny Paulus, who sends that one down low to the far side. Andrew Q swings it right back up top. Q couldn't get a stick on it. The shot right off the face mask. And it'll be Thompson who flips that one up to Leo Storos.
Got to give these goaltenders credit.
Oh.
You get a ball zigging at you right around the melon area like that, and Dougie Jameson didn't even flinch. And you know what? Game 4, Nick Rose had a similar situation right off the beak. And you know what? He just kept on chugging, didn't even shake his head.
Dane Smith couldn't control the pass. And that'll be a loose ball battle. Rogers gets bumped in. Still trying to find the loose ball. Oakville has it, and they get a fresh 30. Half of overtime is gone. 1 goal to show for it. And now we're on the second half of the overtime period. Dan Craig, so far the hero. That pass was intended to go to Andrew Q, who was streaking in. But instead, it's Dan Craig who gives it off to Q now. Q, lone man on the crease. Great stop by Jameson. And David Brock will go up through the middle with speed. Jackson settling in on offense. This is where you need the offense to work, and what a catch by Nick Rose. Little Patrick Waugh finish there.
Cody Jameson just trying to sneak one by out of nowhere on that one.
Don't know if it's frustration setting in there, but uncharacteristic, well outside his normal shooting range.
He didn't even have a defender on him to use as a screen.
Here's Bridle. He takes a bump in the middle. 8 on the clock. Bridle. Now to Noble. Oh, what a kick save.
Wow, what a save.
Dallas Bridle all over him is Storos, but they get it to Craig, who's on his wrong side. Now they settle down.
Full extension on that one.
Well, they're just using the clock now as Oakville has 3 minutes and 40 seconds away in game number 6. Craig sets a seal, ball's up top. Here's Johnny Paulus. Up top, Q winds and fires. Jameson makes the save. Up top. Loose ball, Brian Cole finally picks it up.
Like you were saying before the game, for the Chiefs to be successful, you really have to keep Johnny Paulus at bay, and it's something that they've done tonight.
Cole tried to take a shot, whistles wide, and it will stay in. On to this Jordan Durston. Durston, who's been magic and money so far throughout the regular season, has been really quiet so far in the postseason.
He's worked really hard. That's the other thing. Despite not being able to get it,
right,
finding the back of the net, he's really worked hard.
Tyson Bell, good work to get his man stripped of the ball, but Van Galen has it for the Rock. Van Galen.
What an effort.
And again, Doug Jameson makes the save. He looks to the bench now.
Van Galen's really good at that. He's able to bounce off the defenders and find just an opening to squeak through and get that shot off.
2 minutes, 25 left to go, period number 4. Jameson, good bump from Jackson. Jammer on his wrong side of the floor now, needs a little bit of help. Found Craig Point, but he just couldn't thread the needle. And now, Oakville with 2:09 left to play. And Craig Point knew he needed that ball, but unfortunately the ball will go in favor of the Rock.
You can see down to the other side, head coach Rich Kilgore and Dwayne Jacobs talking to each other. I'm thinking they're talking about that, or when to go with the extra attacker.
Rogers, big man in the middle, swim move, he's right on top. What a stop by Jameson.
What an effort by Challen Rogers.
And now looking at the bench, and Kilgore holds up the stop sign. They're going to wait. 1:35 left here in the overtime frame. If you're just joining us from Whitby and you're catching bonus coverage, Here missed a dandy of a game, and right now Dan Craig has the lone goal in the extra frame.
Dandy's absolutely right, Spencer. This game's had a little bit of everything tonight. It's been fantastic to be a part of and watch.
How about Noble just pulling it out now? Bridle. He's running down the offside. Big hit.
There's a big hit by Tyson Bomberry.
Brock. He's going to be joined by Ethan O'Connor and Tyson Bomberry. Bridle. He's trying to find that loose ball. They're killing a lot of clock, though. And now picked up by Bell. Dougie has got the green light to go to the bench. And under 60 seconds to go, it'll be 6 on 5. Ball's on the far side with Dane Smith. Now to Jamison. To the crease. That pass was well off the mark. Oakville's going to push. Magnan. He's got an empty net. The only one there is Dane Smith. Scores. An empty net goal with 37.7 to go. And now Oakville up by 2 in overtime.
That is a dagger. That is for sure. And
well, just take a look at the exits.
wow. 37.7 seconds left. And the Oakville Rock with a 9-7 lead over the Six Nations Chiefs. And again, we were talking from the onset. It's been a long, long time since the Chiefs have not been, or they were not in the MSL final. All the way back 2011 was the last time the Chiefs were not in the finals. So again, a little bit of talking about a youth movement with the Chiefs, but you know what, almost a changing of the guard here as the Oakville Rock 33 seconds away from getting to the MSL final. And like we were talking about, the Brooklyn Redmen forcing a Game 7 against the Peterborough Lakers, who, of course, have been the Chiefs' adversaries in all but one of those MSL final.
Well, they'll draw up a play. We do know there is going to be a Game 7 from Peterborough. And wouldn't that be something? Six Nations and Peterborough both could potentially be out. And we could see Brooklyn versus Oakville. It's that close.
Imagine that.
Chiefs need heroics, though. 33 seconds, and they need 2. And that's just a tie.
And again, while we have the break in the action, you can't thank Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation enough for their support and their generosity all season long.
Absolutely.
And they've helped us power our way to giving you Six Nations Chiefs Lacrosse live and online on YouTube. And we can't thank them enough, and we can't thank the viewers enough for their support. And again, viewers from all over the world watching in as we hone in. 32 seconds remaining, Spencer.
Jackson down to Jamison. You know it's going to be quick. What a stop. Nick Rose comes across. Jackson up top. Jamison shoots, kick save once again off the helmet. Where is it? Ball's right on top of the crease. Oakville, you know they're probably going to call timeout if they get it. Oh, big hit on the back. White possession. And we'll see if anything else comes out of it. Jackson in there. So is Dane Smith, who is injured on the ground. He's up, though. And now this could get ugly.
You know what, Spencer? That save by Nick Rose, very, very, very familiar to game number 4 where Nick Rose robbed. I'm trying to remember who it was, or it was Fennell, I believe. He robbed Fennell twice with the seconds winding down. Nick Rose saving the game.
The smile on his face right now says it all, as 14 seconds is left in the third period. White ball, that pretty much will do it. So we'll see if they call penalties. I'm not sure what will be written up, but it'll be white ball unless the Chiefs somehow manage to get a power play.
It's funny, one of our viewers just said, best thing about summer ball is the competition. And you know what? Doug Marcus is actually absolutely right on that, as the parody again showing in Major Series Lacrosse.
And now Billy D. Smith
just unravels.
And this could really turn ugly if someone doesn't go stop. as
As
Billy D.
David
Smith.
Brock. David Brock.
Well, you never want to see that towards an official.
And again, speaking of that, the Senior B game in the Quebec League. Where, that was just ridiculous, where an official was pummeled on, and it was in hospital, actually, in a St. Regis game. St. Regis and I'm not really sure who, but...
well, guys look up, and when fans are watching this at home or in the building, they look up to guys like this, and, some of these players, a lot of these players coach younger teams.
Absolutely.
So when you see this and you see anything like this, it's just... It takes away from the whole game of lacrosse.
Oh, look at just Jordan Durst and Johnny Pallas. Perfect example, coaching the Wallaceburg Red Devils Junior B team.
Well, they'll kill the clock, and that will do it. On behalf of the Chiefs, got to give a big shout-out to Oakville. Congratulations, their first ever MSL playoff win, and that'll do it. The Chiefs will fall in Game 6, and the Oakville Rock will advance 4-2 the series final.
But again, thanks to everybody for joining us this season. It's been a great season of Lacrosse Online, and we were very, very happy to bring it to you live and online and free. And hopefully we'll be able to do the same next year. And again, we can't thank Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation enough for their generosity and support of the cause here and helping us bring you Six Nations Chiefs Lacrosse online. For Spencer Tangway, Tristan Frank, Carl on the point streak doing our stats, we'd like to thank you, and we will see you next year.